This video is the speech of Masab Hassan Youssef, the son of one of the co-founders of Hamas, speaking at Oxford University. Let's take a listen. He has a lot to say and talk about it after.
My name is Mus'ab Hassan Youssef, for those who don't know me, but I think most of you know who I am.
Order. Please allow the speaker to make a speech in silence. Please show courtesy to the speaker.
I am sentenced by my father to death. He made my blood allowed. Why? Because I reported on suicide bombing attacks that targeted civilians indiscriminately. This is my crime. And guess what? It is not a secret that you discovered. It was my initiative that I revealed myself to public of what I did, because I am not ashamed of saving human lives. You should be ashamed for taking the side of terrorists. Also, I am not going to apologize for reporting Hamas and for reporting terrorists. And know that we will fight anyone who takes the side of terrorists. Hamas is a terrorist organization in the UK, in the United States, in the European Union. And it's not up to you to decide. Sit down. Now listen, only Sheikh Hassan Youssef has the authority and the power to pull the trigger. Not you, not him, not her. Only Sheikh Hassan Youssef, if he has the courage to point the gun at his oldest son and pull the trigger. Anyone else who tried to do that will be dealt with differently. Now, how many of you sitting here want to teach me a lesson about morality? If you knew about October 7 attacks, any of you, raise your hands. If you had information about Hamas attack on October 7, would you report it to the authorities? If you do, raise your hand. Sit down. Less than 5% in this room raised their hands that they would report a massive terrorist attack that targeted civilians indiscriminately. That includes Arabs, Muslims, Jews, Christians, peaceful farming communities on October 7, ethnically cleansing 20 Jewish communities because of their ethnicity and because of their religion. What's happening in Gaza is not the same, because you are the one who's taken the side of terrorists, knowing exactly your role, and you are enjoying it. But at some point, you will have to deal with the consequences, because everything is recorded against you. Now, there come the Palestinians, the most pathetic people on planet Earth.
Is out of order.
Sit down.
The speaker is out of order. If the speaker when the chair is making a ruling, the speaker must remain seated. If the speaker repeats this again, I will have to ask him to leave.
They want to delegitimize someone who's born in that land.
A point of order has been raised. It is directed to the chair. A point of order has been raised. I have to hear the point of order. I have to hear the point of order.
Sit down.
Could I hear the point of order from the member? Order.
Sit down.
Order. It is
Sit
not
down.
for you to tell a member to sit down.
down.
A point of order is directed to the chair.
Sit down.
Order. 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 Could I hear the point of order from the member for Senate Hall?
Then get out.
Order.
The speaker just insulted me personally and insulted many Palestinians, and I asked him to be escorted out of the chamber in the same manner that a fellow student was escorted out of the chamber when she was alleged to have insulted.
Order. Order. If this is repeated again, I'll have to ask the speaker to leave. The speaker was out of order. Please continue.
What? What? This house has been
Could I hear the
hijacked
point of
by
order?
Muslims.
Could I hear the point of order?
You
Could I hear the
are-
point of order?
You
Order. Could I hear
What
the point of
order?
order? Please
What
have a seat.
order?
The point of order is behind you.
What order?
Could I hear the point of order from the member? Could I hear the point of order? Order! Could I hear the point of order? Please state your point of order. Order! Order! Could I please hear the point of order?
The Speaker made absolutely no reference to anyone in this chamber. He passed an opinion on his own people. Would he please be allowed to continue to debate, given how important his voice is in this conversation?
Order! 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 I have made my ruling very clear.
What is your ruling? I did not
It is repeated.
insult
The speaker will have
anyone
to leave.
in the room.
Order! Order! Could I hear the point of order?
Given that this is a speaker who, once invited by this union, was then attempts being made to prevent him from coming here to speak, and now we have seen that committed again in the course of this speaker speaking, he has a right to freedom of speech, he has a right to speak in this chamber as an invited guest of this union. To order him out as a result of the opinion he has expressed on his own people brings this union into disrepute. It is a moment of betrayal for this chamber.
I have heard your point of order. I have made my ruling very clear. Could the speaker please proceed without making any disparaging references to any population? Please continue.
They want to delegitimize my right to exist because I oppose their violent ideology. Then they want to cry day and night of a victim. Please sit
Order.
down.
I have to hear the point of order.
Insulting Zionists, Israelis, Israel being a nationality.
Order. I've heard the point of order. You have seen a member being asked to leave the chamber before on a different side of the chamber. I have made sure that people from both sides of the chamber are allowed to make their speeches and that they're allowed to be heard. Could I please allow the speaker to finish without any further points of order?
Okay.
Please continue.
All the interruptions are not going to help the situation. You'll have to face the reality and the truth the way it is. I was born in that land. It's my birthright. And I was born, sit down, and I was born as an Arab. I was not born as Palestinian, like millions of Arab children. And the Palestinians have been pushing the Palestinian violent indoctrination based on false narrative of apartheid, colonialism, genocide, occupation. While Palestine never existed as a sovereign country, it never existed except as a colonial entity. And the joke on the Palestinians that they actually claim to be indigenous of the land, fighting against colonialism, while they choose a colonial entity as their national identity. How pathetic is that? I find it really unbelievable that the Palestinians continue spreading this lie and millions of people around the world are believing them. If you ask them what is Palestine, sit down. If you ask them what is Palestine, they don't know how to answer. If you ask them what makes a Palestinian Palestinian, they don't know how to answer. Stop, interrupt me, sit down. We heard you. Sit down. Stop, interrupt me, and listen. Now, their strategy, and this is what need to be discussed here on the floor tonight, is the use of human shield and the evil practice of sacrificing children for political and financial gain. This is the mastery of the Palestinians. This is what they've been doing. They want the children, the Arab children, to continue carrying the burden of their sick indoctrination for eternity. Then a bunch of people come here crying as victims or as the saviors of the Gaza children. And I tell them, who authorized you even to speak on behalf of the children of Gaza? If you want to dismantle the apartheid state, he wants to dismantle the apartheid state, and none of you paid attention of how dangerous that. This means he wants to dismantle the state of Israel. This is what he wants to do. And that means the ethnic cleansing of the only Jewish state. Don't interrupt me and listen. What he wants to wipe out a nation, the most ancient nation in the Middle East, the most authentic nation in the Middle East, the only Jewish state on the planet, and he wants from the children of Gaza to do the job on his behalf, on behalf of his political ambition. And I tell him, why don't you go carry a rifle and fight the apartheid state? Why the children of Gaza supposed to fight on your behalf and on behalf of your righteousness? You are not the savior. This is a very severe state of mental illness that you think that you are the savior of Gazan children, because you are not the savior. And all. Now, they talk about genocide. Israel sent leaflets, millions of text messages. They've made phone calls. They gave safe passages to people to evacuate war zone. While Hamas embedded under schools, hospitals, they did not leave any sacred zone for the civilians to evacuate to safety. Then they booby-trapped the entire area. And Israel had to send its foot soldiers to suffer additional casualty on the top of October 7, while they had the capacity to carpet bomb the entire Gaza Strip. If their intention, you never been to Gaza, you don't know what you're talking about, so sit down. After the war, what was the day? Where did you go? After the war? After October 7?
Order. Can the speaker desist from addressing other members? Okay. Order. Can the speaker please be heard? Could I please ask the member from Saladin Hall to desist? Thank you. Please conclude your speech.
Israel did, for those who are here to listen, by the way, it's very, very important. And I will remind you at some point in the future, when we look back at this time of confusion and the push of the Palestinian violent indoctrination, they are going to hit a dead end eventually. But here, let me be a witness to history and to you. Israel did everything within their ability to minimize the civilian casualty in Gaza. While Hamas did everything in their ability to maximize the civilian casualty.
The speaker will be heard.
Hamas did everything within their ability to maximize the civilian casualty for political and financial gain, for global sympathy, and they succeeded of fooling so many people. But this is not going to change the reality on the ground, because Hamas does not care for the Arab children. Hamas does not care for the Jewish children. Arabs and Jews, yes, your insults can challenge or defy my truth. Arabs and Jews can get along. I have faith in that. Arabs, we are an ethnic group. We were way before Islam came to the region. We were way before the Palestinians came to the region. And by the way, the Palestinian history started in 1964 with the keffiyeh and the Palestinian flag. This is their heritage. That's all they have. And we are not Palestinians. We are Arabs. This is our language. This is our culture. And we will continue way after the Palestinian thugs who came to hijack our society with their sick indoctrination and victim narrative. The victim narrative. This is not representing who we are. We are resilient. We don't accept to be victims. Israel will be our strategic friend. And we will get along. Kurds, Jews, Arabs, Druze, and the rest of the region. And I hope that the Palestinians will know their place in history, nothing but a false identity. This is who they are, and this is how they are going to end.
Order, 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 order.
So here's what I got. It's pretty hard to challenge somebody like that on what they're saying in a world where his life, and I met him very randomly here in Israel in Tel Aviv. And I can tell you that the way that he feels, the way his perspective has been built is based on witnessing a ton of bloodshed and witnessing the creation of Hamas unfold, witnessing 6, 7, 8, 9, 10-year-olds get recruited to be suicide bombers, to become and train to be martyrs when they're older. He was in that process of being indoctrinated. I can tell you that today, he publicly talks about how unsafe his life is, how dangerous it is for him. He obviously can't go back. He was born in the West Bank. The safest place that he feels, and he told me this when I met him, is Israel. It's the only place in the world where he feels that he can completely zone out, tune out everything, meditate, and be present and be. And I find it so telling that that is the place where he feels the safest. And he grew up in the exact opposite side of this conflict, the exact opposite. Not Hamas, the son of Hamas. Like, he was on his way to being Hamas. He knows more about it than pretty much everyone else on earth, aside from those who are the political and military leaders of this organization. Mossab absolutely has sacrificed and risked his whole life. He talks about how unsafe it is to walk around in America, how unsafe it is for him to travel. It's not a life that he wants to have, but he's not willing to be silent about the truth. This emotion, this anger, this aggression that he has, I saw it firsthand in person, off camera for about half an hour. Excuse me, he really is an angry person. He really is, because he knows the unfortunate truth, and the unfortunate truth leads him to getting an incredible amount of resistance from a bunch of prestige high school and university students across the world who seem to claim they know more than him, who have never been to the region. And so his anger is compounded with more anger and more frustration, because he understands walking into a room like this, as soon as he says something that's the exact opposite of what they've been what they've been told, what they've been hearing, what they think is right, must not be true. Suddenly we have an op in the room. Sometimes now we have a Mossad agent. He's being paid. He's undercover. Yeah, he's not an undercover agent. He works for the IDF. He helps gather intel that is directed from people in the West Bank or the Gaza Strip, terrorists that are planning things. So he works with the IDF to prevent these terrorist attacks from occurring. If that's what somebody does, that's a collaborator. Absolutely. Why? He's trying to do the right thing. The same way that Iran and its proxies have tapped their way into Facebook profiles of Israelis across the country and offered them so much money to collaborate with them. And there are those who are guilty of it. I don't agree with it, because that's the wrong thing to do. They're taking a monetary value to help terrorism increase. He is taking an opportunity, which absolutely he deserves to get paid for, because he's saving the lives of Jews and Muslims and Christians and every other Israeli and tourist inside of these borders every day. That intel, that information, that wisdom, that data, there's no price you can put on that, because he's doing it for the greater good. He's representing what the truth is. He's representing the good guys. And the truth hurts. You can see it when all these students react to everything. I hope I get the opportunity to meet him again. Please share this video. Thank you so much. See you next time. If you want to continue the conversation, you can support my work for free. Discord does not cost a thing. It is the best way to connect with me and others who are seeking the truth. The link is in the description. But if you want to take it one step further, my Patreon gives you access to the Israel you don't see, uncovering the untold stories of what mainstream media does not show you. The link is in the description, and it helps me to continue this work. Or if you're just looking to help this thing go, PayPal and Buy Me a Coffee is a really easy way to support me. This channel, this work does not happen without all of you. Thank you. I love you. I'll see you next time.